Hello everyone. Before we get into the video, I'd like to give a bit of a message. For those of you who don't know, today, May 18th, 2022, is the 5-year anniversary of the passing of Chris Cornell. Chris was the lead singer of Soundgarden, Audioslave, Temple of the Dog, his own solo career, and had collaborations with many more artists. He was a legendary voice in rock music, and one of the biggest impacts he had, not just in his music, was on his views discussing substance abuse and mental health, specifically depression, which unfortunately took his own life 5 years ago to the day. I would like to say if somehow this video reaches any of Chris's friends or family, or his former bandmates, Chris had an impact on the world like few have ever had. And I want to say that his music and his understanding of mental health personally helped me get through many of my own hard times. I just want to say thank you for everything, Chris, and I hope wherever you are that you're resting easier now. Rest in peace, man. No one sings like you anymore. Hello, everyone. My name is Ace from Rock Music Rewind. Today, we will be discussing one of my favorite rock bands of all time, Soundgarden. I hope that if you are not already a fan, perhaps I can persuade you into checking them out. Or maybe you're like me and you want to introduce a friend to this band. Well, I'm here to help you with that. In this video, I will list what I believe are the 10 best songs to introduce someone to Soundgarden. Now, these songs are not all personally what I believe to be their best songs, but rather ones I believe to be very beginner friendly and that can help hook someone onto their general sound and lyrical themes. The plan for this video is to give you a few of their biggest hits and then dig into a couple deeper cuts. The only rules for this list is I will be only discussing officially released projects you can readily find available on physical media like CDs or vinyl, or streaming platforms such as Spotify or Apple Music. But before we get started with the list, who was Soundgarden? Soundgarden was a grunge band who had their main run throughout the 1990s but were active initially from 1984 to 1997, and then they came back in the 21st century after breaking up in the 90s from 2010 to 2019. Soundgarden, consisting primarily of vocalist Chris Cornell, lead guitarist Kim Thayil, bassist Hiro Yamamoto, who was later replaced by Ben Shepherd, and drummer Matt Cameron were considered some of the biggest pioneers of the Seattle grunge movement throughout the early 1990s. While they may not have been as commercially successful as some of their contemporaries, such as Nirvana or Pearl Jam, they made a major impact on the rock world regardless. Despite being considered primarily grunge, they have also been labeled as alternative rock and metal, hard rock, and heavy metal by some publications. Throughout their tenure, they released 6 studio albums, spanning from Ultra Mega OK in 1988 to King Animal in 2012. Soundgarden has disbanded twice over the course of their career, once in 1997 due to internal disagreements among the group members, and again in 2019 after the tragic passing of Chris Cornell in 2017. Despite this, the legacy of Soundgarden and Chris Cornell live on through timeless songs like Black Hole Sun, Fell on Black Days, and Spoon Man. The lyrics of many of their songs frequently touched on topics regarding depression and mental illness, reflecting Chris Cornell's own struggle with mental illness he battled throughout most of his adult life and all the way up until the end of it. Now that you're caught up to speed on who Soundgarden and its members were, let's get started on the actual list portion of the video. It would be impossible to discuss Soundgarden and their impact on rock history without discussing easily their biggest and most well-known song, Black Hole Sun. According to Chris Cornell, the lyrical portion of this song was written in just 15 minutes. Initially meant to be a deeper cut from their 4th album, Super Unknown, the song ended up becoming a runaway hit after it was released as the 3rd single for the album. The dreary, psychedelic guitar work from Kim Thayil, combined with Chris Cornell's soulful crooning, this song is a perfect introduction to Soundgarden's overall thesis regarding their sound and their lyrical content. Paired with its trippy, acid-fueled music video, the song made major waves throughout the 90s and still gets airtime on rock radio across the country to this day. There has been some speculation amongst fans as to if this song has any deeper meaning, from it being about depression, or that it was written from the perspective of someone who was trying to overcome a drug addiction, but Chris has always insisted that the song had no deeper meaning. Regardless, this is easily Soundgarden's biggest song, and a great starting point for anyone interested in getting into the band. Another one of Soundgarden's biggest hits, Fell on Black Days, is a staple of the Soundgarden discography. Released as the 5th and final single of Super Unknown, the song sits comfortably as the 3rd most streamed song from Soundgarden on Spotify. Fell on Black Days covers a topic that will become very commonplace as you listen to more Soundgarden, and that is depression. Chris had stated that the song is about waking up and realizing that you are at a dark point of your life, even if there may not have been any initial trigger to this revelation. Despite the subject matter, there are some glimpses of hope throughout the lyrics. Once again, the calming guitar melodies, the backing bass and drums, and Chris's soulful singing make for another great Soundgarden song, one that is likely deeply relatable to many of its listeners. Rounding out the top 3 most streamed songs on Soundgarden's Spotify page is the lead single from Super Unknown, Spoon Man. A more upbeat song with some poppy vibes to it, it's a sonically and lyrically lighter song than what is traditional of Soundgarden. During the song's midsection, a man by the name of Artist the Spoon Man plays the spoons in his own solo, making for an interesting musical break. I could see this song being the best of the big 3 to introduce Soundgarden to yourself or others if a lighter vibe is desired. For now, we will leave songs from Super Unknown and check out some songs from Soundgarden's third album, Bad Motorfinger. This album arguably had more of a metal sound to it than what would follow, and Rusty Cage is a perfect example of that. With its frantic main riff and Chris's proclamation of "I'm going to break my rusty cage and run" in the chorus, the song is full of energy. Kim Thayil really steals the show with his guitar work in the song, especially in his ending breakdown with its iconic start-stop riffing. This was one of the first Soundgarden songs I got really into, and it's perfect for if you're looking to give you or someone else a song with some kick to it. Another standout track from Bad Motorfinger, Outshined, was released as the album's second single and became one of their first early hits. A song that, according to Chris Cornell, was written about his sometimes intense mood swings, the song is backed by a heavy guitar riff and rumbling bass, helping maintain a more metallic feel that Bad Motorfinger had. The best way to describe this song's primary focus is Chris's clever line of "I'm looking California, but feeling Minnesota." The message of the song is yet another one regarding personal feelings of Chris's that I'm sure many people can relate to, wrapped up in one heavy package. Let's jump a bit forward and go to Non-State Actor, a song from Soundgarden's sixth and final album, King Animal. It's a hard-rocking song that is sure to get you pumped up regardless of your mood. The song loosely discusses not being associated with any state or government, and Chris paving his own path and his beliefs. Non-State Actor also does a fantastic job at showing off Chris's vocal abilities as he lets out some of his best screams of his vocal career on the hooks. This is a great song for someone looking for a more upbeat vibe to rock along to, and shows that Soundgarden were still firing on all cylinders even after more than a decade apart. I'm going to break away from the more mainstream picks here and take a deeper cut from their fifth album, Down on the Upside. Jumping back to 1996, we have Tighter and Tighter, a very simple and straightforward song. With only 2 verses, you may be surprised to learn the song lasts well over 6 minutes. However, the space is well filled with doom metal-esque guitar, backing bass, and slow but melodic drumming. Chris even has a filter on his voice during some of the lines, similar to what you may hear from doom metal bands such as early Black Sabbath. The song to me is definitely more about the general sound of it over the lyrics, and can be a good song to kick back and relax to. Possibly the perfect song to show off Soundgarden's habit of using depression-related metaphors in its lyrics, we have the lead single off of Down on the Upside, Pretty Noose. This is a song I had come back across much later that initially did not click with me upon my first listen of the album. The song is about something that seems to look good on the surface, but at the end of the day is negatively affecting you and your health. The song has a very pop-esque vibe to it, despite the lyrics referencing suicide by hanging. Admittedly, this song can feel a bit rough to listen to in the modern day, considering the circumstances surrounding Chris Cornell's death, but from an artistic standpoint, it's still a great song, and only goes to show how Chris was able to use his depression to his advantage when writing and performing music. All Your Lies is arguably the definitive song from Soundgarden's debut album, Ultra Mega OK. This song was one of the few songs covered by Metallica in their tribute show to Chris Cornell following his death in 2017, and it's easy to see why a metal band could make good use of this song, with its fast-paced, energetic vocals and slower bridges. It's a song that admittedly can get stuck in my head very quickly, and is easily one of the early songs I would point to for someone looking to go deeper into the Soundgarden discography. To round off this list, we have a personal favorite of mine, Gun. This song from their second album, Louder Than Love, is probably one of their heaviest songs sonically, and probably one that sounds the most metallic. The rumbling bass, ominous drumming in the background, and the constantly changing pace of the main guitar riff makes for an exciting listen. Then there's Chris's frankly evil-sounding vocals on lines such as "I got an idea of something we can do with a gun." The song goes from slow, start-stop riffing similar to Rusty Cage until the second half of the song, where Chris exclaims to "fuck it up" as the song explodes into a full surf rock and somewhat heavy metal breakdown. Easily the best song from Louder Than Love in my opinion, and another great song from their early discography. Before I end this video, I would like to list off a few honorable mentions that couldn't fit into the main list. Many of these songs I would argue would be better after someone gets a general feel for Soundgarden, rather than being some of their first impressions of the band. I picked one from each album, their first double EP, and one from their Rarities compilation album, Echo of Miles. Again, as mentioned earlier, all of these songs from the list and to the ones that I'm about to mention are available readily on streaming services such as Spotify or Apple Music. If you or someone else wants to dig deeper into their discography, I would recommend Hunted Down, Beyond the Wheel, Power Trip, Slaves and Bulldozers, Limo Wreck, Rhinosaur, Rowing, and Toy Box. With that being said, that was my list for 10 songs to help someone get into Soundgarden. I hope you enjoyed my picks, and let me know what you think of those picks down below. And maybe let me know what some of your favorite Soundgarden songs are. Thank you for watching, I hope to see you in the next one, and have a great day wherever you are.